Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live, somebody, let's go.
Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. I hope you guys are all doing well out there. I want to say, first off, thank you guys so much for being on here, chopping it up with me, having a great time. We got somebody very, very special on, and I'm going to show you guys his lovely, intelligent face in a second here. If you want to get rich, you got to call this man, okay? But I'm very honored to be here. I know that I said I was going to be on at 7. It's 7 right now. So thank you guys for watching the first live I did a second ago before I hopped in the car, raced my ass down here to be a part of this conversation. And we got a lot of stuff we're going to be unfolding, a lot of stuff we got to talk about. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world, and there's a lot of financial stuff that we should talk about, especially with these certain defamation cases, which we will be chopping up here as well. And then, of course, we got some really big conversation. Yo, Elon Musk just bought Twitter. He just bought the twits. What the hell? Okay, so we got to definitely talk about that too, because that's a big story, huge story. Everybody and their mama talking about that. And of course, we got to talk about all these other salacious titles that we have in the title down below. But before we get into everything, do me a favor, hit that like button down below, crush it, make it scream out your damn name. You know what I'm saying? I'm working hard out here in these streets. Like I said, I jumped in the car, raced my black ass down here, okay, just so I could talk to this unbelievable man. Okay, so please, if you don't like me and you're just here for his support, hit the like button for his amazing ass, okay? And of course, do not forget to hit that subscribe button, all right? It'd be really great to have you part of the Pascal Show family. And you can always hit that join button or join my Patreon. You know, I got to throw in those shameless plugs. I got to keep these lights on, you feel me? But anyway, I'm very, very honored to have this man. He is a CFA, correct? CFP, dagnabbit. And this guy's very, very talented and very, very informative when it comes to finances, when it comes to your monies, on innovative ways of securing that bag. And I know we all like having our money, okay? So please welcome pocket watching Jason Thornton's in the house. What's up, man?
Listen, I'm so excited. I'm so excited because, you know, obviously we're from the same city. We've collabed on different videos together.
Yes, we have.
But this is the very first time that we're in the same building, in the same room together.
We are actually physically, we are physically in the flesh talking right now. I'm just going to reach out my hand.
Damn,
we're shaking our hands. You know what I'm saying? Real, y'all. This is very, very real. What a wild, wild day. Yeah. And the fact that you live in my hometown, or we live in our hometown, right? I think it's really, really dope that we're able to be here together, chopping it up and talking about these things that are going all around the world, and just affecting things. And the funny thing is that you don't only talk about finances. I mean, I know you do specifically talk about that on the show, but right. You're here to talk about everything, including finances, right?
Yeah, I mean, you got to, because if I only talked about numbers, who would want to hear that? I think what makes my show unique, Pocket Watching with JT unique, is that I try to mix in pop culture and relate it to finance, relate it to people's money lives, because otherwise you don't pay attention. And it's real. It can be an extremely boring subject matter. So I do the best I can to mix in pop culture and make people understand how these things are actually relevant to their lives and how they can make smarter moves with their money so that they can actually do the thing that people say, chase after that American dream, build wealth, not live paycheck to paycheck. Right. That's what we try to do.
And I think that's really smart, because I feel like a lot of people need to be. Yeah, shout out to lead attorney. I'll just say that really quick. No, he said something a long time ago that I kept with me, and he said it's the Trojan horse effect. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes.
He said it on a show a long time ago, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I want to get people, I want to draw people in, get them interested, but I also want them to know that they're coming in for that salacious title, or they're coming in for that the candy, but I'm still going to shove some vegetables in there so that they not only are coming in to be not only entertained and talk about that salacious title, but they're leaving with some sort of education, some sort of piece of information. And that's something that I feel like you do a lot on your channel, which I commend you for, man. And because finances are not fun.
Right.
I said it.
It depends on the angle that, I mean, what you're saying
Exactly.
is exactly true, because
Exactly.
who cares if you have all the answers? Who cares if you have the information that will actually help people's lives if no one is walking in the room to get it? It doesn't matter. So if I don't present this information in a way that's appealing to the culture that I'm trying to reach, it absolutely doesn't matter. Honestly, I mean, anything that I say to you right now, anything that comes out of my mouth is coming from a person who has spent years of education and practice in the world of finance. Anything that I say, you can find it in the book. But here's the issue. Most of the people are not going into those textbooks, right? They're not going to look for it. So they need me as an avatar to be able to translate it to them in a way that they're, one, going to understand, and two, in a way that hopefully they don't fall asleep by the third sentence that comes out of my mouth.
Yes. And that's the thing. And I think that's why someone like myself who, frowns at the idea of finances. I mean, I like my money and I can count, and I like seeing the numbers go up, and I like a lot of commas in my bank account. But at the same time, though, when it comes to all that other stuff, it can get a little bit tedious. It can get a little bit daunting. But then you spin it. And you do it in a way so that people can actually grab that and understand it. I feel like it's the same thing when somebody takes something like politics or law or any of that stuff, and they're able to spin it in a way that keeps it digestible.
Yes.
For the average Joe. Absolutely. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's something that you do on your channel terrifically, by the way.
I appreciate it, man.
Anyway, no problem. Anytime. That's what I was trying to say. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But anytime, my brother, of course.
Yeah, I appreciate. And the thing about my show and what we're really driving towards, and a new thing that we're doing, is we're focused on a call-in financial talk show.
Yes.
I really want to be able to reach the thousands and thousands. I mean, I've been blessed to have a financial show on YouTube that has over 55,000 subs. In about a year. It took me about a year. It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, man.
I never thought it would get to this point. And now that I am at this point, and I have the eyes and ears of over 55,000 people, I decided to shift a lot of my content more towards serving and giving more value to those people. And I said, man, listen, I want a way that they can connect to me. And I know when it comes to finances, and it sounds crazy when I say this, but just listen. Most people are willing to give you the deepest, darkest details of their sexual lives before they're willing to give you the details of their financial lives.
Very interesting. That's interesting. Wow.
Go to any barbershop, go to any beauty salon, wherever you are. I'm telling you, people will be more willing to give you the details of their sexual lives before they give you the real details of their financial lives. And I decided, listen, the easiest way and the best way that I can actually connect with these 55,000 people who decided that they want to, listen to my content and participate with my content is I'm going to start a call-in show. This way, they can actually call a number. They don't have to divulge who they are. Because before, I would just drop a link and they would come up. But, they'd have to cam up, or there's a little bit of too much of exposure. Right, a little too much exposure to really get down to the pain points in their financial lives. I figured, put a phone number up. They can call. They can give me just a name, whatever name they want to give me. Give me your name and where you're calling from, so I get a reference point. Right. But after that, let's have a conversation about what is affecting you the most in your financial life. What is your most concerned point about your finances, and let's have a conversation to get you turned in the right direction. And I do this at least 3 shows a week. I give people in general population, regardless of what color you are, the general population, they do not have a personal relationship with a certified financial planner. They just don't. right? It's really, people think it's reserved for the wealthy, and it's not.
So okay. Oh man, we're going. Okay, we're going off the rails now. Okay, so here it is. Okay, because you made a very interesting, statement there where you said, hey, when it comes to finances and all that, and the people are more honest or more open about their sexual, escapades than they are actually with their finances, right? So why do you think that? Why? Let's start there first. Why are people not down for just being real about their finances, but they'll tell everybody how they went and S to D out in the parking lot 5 seconds before they walked in this B?
It's a weird thing about money. Money is so intertwined in everything that we do. I don't care who you are, what you do, what type of job you have. People love to be perceived as being smart with money. People love to have an idea or give off the perception that they're making all the right financial moves. And if they were to expose that they're not, then they feel as if they're going to be ridiculed. They're going to be shamed about their current financial situation. Just think about the ways that we spend our money. The cars that we buy, the clothes that we buy, the things that we do to show that we have wealth. People do all these things to present as if they're wealthy, but the hard facts is a lot of people are living under the poverty line, but they wear designer clothes. There's a disconnect.
They got that Gucci, the Balenciaga,
right?
But they can't even fill the gas tank.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Or they got that fresh new hot whip, but they can't even put gas in the damn thing. So I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So if they were to expose to the world that they don't have it right, that they need help with their finances, they think I'm going to show weakness. But signs of weakness isn't realizing that you need help. That's actually a sign of strength when you're able to say, hey, I need help in this. That's a sign of strength. A true sign of weakness is trying to hide something, right? So with this phone number, giving people the opportunity, hey man, just call me up. 3 days a week, I'm giving you an opportunity to have a personal relationship with a licensed financial advisor where you can call me up, give me your concern, and I'm going to do the best I can to point you in the right directions that help you reach whatever your financial goals is. Now, here's another thing, though. Sometimes I've got to have these people swallow the bitter pill of truth of maybe your financial goals are a little higher than what they should be.
Oh wait, what the hell does that mean? Usually people are going to go, slow the hell down. No. Don't. Now you're saying your goals are maybe hot. Explain that, bruh.
There are far too many people in our culture who are living poor because they're faking rich. They are denying themselves an opportunity to live in the middle class because they're grasping in the air to try to be ultra wealthy. Sometimes I have to tell a client or tell someone over the phone, listen, your ambitions are higher than your reach. And because you are reaching beyond your scope, that's why you're spread so thin. If you would simply live a little closer within your means, you could probably reach a goal of millionaire status by the time you're 65, not with any get-rich-quick scheme, not with trying to become a crypto millionaire or a GameStop millionaire. You could probably most likely become a millionaire with a W-2 job, owning your home, not renting, but owning your home and investing in a 401k. It is more likely, probability, just by the numbers, it's more likely for you to become a millionaire with a W-2, owning your home and investing in your 401k than running around and trying to be a crypto millionaire or trying to be a Forex millionaire or doing some multi-level marketing scam, or you're trying to, become a real estate mogul with no money down real estate courses online. These are the things that keep you on that hamster wheel, living paycheck to paycheck. If you would just slow down and say, listen, I'm trying to live in the middle class, and if I get better, great. But it's that extra stretch. It's that beyond your scope attempt to be ultra wealthy and try to present it as you are now because you're faking it till you make it. That faking it is keeping you broke.
Don't say anything. Don't even talk anymore. The show's over now. I think he said enough. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But damn, yeah, I mean, you spitting facts, man. And that's very true. Like we were talking about before we even started. I think it's just interesting that, and you said it. So I'm just going to echo what you just said a second ago. But I find it very interesting that I call them 30,000 heirs. Like in this town, at least in this town, they're everywhere else. Right. Yeah. But what we were just talking about a second ago, where it's guys that will have these dope ass rides, like man, the fastest, the slickest BMW 2-door, blah blah, suicide doors, all that stuff. You know, pulling up to the dope ass bar, club, right. Showing off that they got some money, but they don't really have the money. They don't even have the money to even keep up with the car note on that car. They're just using it, one, obviously for image, and of course so that they can get some, they can get some love. Listen, to get that attention. It's just interesting.
I have a saying that people have created memes of, but I say you can't parking lot pimp with $400,000 in a 401k. But you're most likely more wealthy than the guy who pulls up in the 2018 Camaro with suicide doors, who's most likely on the repo list, right? So we have to shift the way we look at wealth in the culture. That's the problem. If as a culture, wealth who has $400,000 in his 401k is the wealthy one. The guy with the 2018 Camaro on the repo list is the faker. If we shifted our culture and did that, you see more people trying to be the $400,000 in the 401k rather the overpriced Camaro.
Wow. Interesting. Wow. I got so many questions for you. You know what I'm saying? Because we could talk about this all show long. You know what I mean? We could talk about this all show long. But I'm like, oh man, unfortunately we got to get into some stories.
Let's do it.
But we definitely, oh my God, I'll be probably asking you some questions here a lot here in a second. All right. That have nothing to do with the show or any of the stories. But I will be asking you these questions and be like, oh, by the way, should I do this really quick? What do you think? You know what I mean? Right. Am I doing the right thing by doing this investment? Should I invest this or not? What's better? Should I buy it? Should I rent? Should I rent this and then buy this, or what should I do? You know what I'm saying? I'll be annoying you here very, very soon.
But just to add to that, every Sunday night, 6 o'clock Central Standard Time, I have a show that is JT Can I Buy It? That's the whole focus of the show on Sundays.
Oh, damn.
It gives people an opportunity to call into the show and let me know, hey, I've got some money, or I don't have money, but I want to buy this thing. And we have a short conversation about where they are financially. And I give them my recommendation on should they buy it? Should they not buy it? Maybe they should save up for it. Or maybe this is something that they should not add to their lives no matter what. I do that every Sunday night.
Word. Okay, guys. So you now know. We just did 15 minutes of just straight knowledge. I mean, or actually, he dropped nothing but knowledge. Okay, knowledge. Here I am in my garage with my Lambo and these books that I read one book a day. You know who I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, God, yes. Ty Lopez.
Ty Lopez, yeah.
New age gurus. He was like the granddaddy of these new age online gurus.
Yes.
Who another guy that.
Knowledge.
I can go on and on.
Knowledge. Anyway, all right, guys, we got to get into some stories, but here it is, real talk. There's the man. He's all buff and stuff in his red. Look, you know what I mean? Looking rough as stuff in his, not his Afro puffs, but you know what I'm saying. He looking great, okay? I saw some of the ladies going, oh, he looking good. So there you go. All right, but this man's got some knowledge, got some very, very talented in what he does. If you need some financial advice, if you want to check him out and all that, please go to Pocket Watching with JT, one word. It's actually the his link is in the title right now as we speak. So go click on it, go over there, subscribe, and then quickly come back. Okay, so we can continue with our conversation. Okay, so I appreciate you being here, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we got to talk about some things, guys. And one of the main things, and I'm glad I brought this man on because he about finance, he about that monies. Okay, and we got to talk about this Elon Musk buying Twitter. We're going to get into all the other salacious stuff here in a second. We will. I promise you that, especially with the Blac Chyna stuff, which is very strange. And we got to dabble a little bit into the Johnny Depp, Amber Heard thing and the Megan Thee Stallion. So we got a lot to cover in a very little bit of time. And then at the very end, for a few minutes, I will open up the video chat lines so that we can have a quick conversation with y'all. Okay? Brain fart today, okay? Yeah, he's just laughing his ass off today. You're seeing me fucking drown.
It feels like anyway. I don't have to run the boards and stuff. I just get to sit here. Oh my god,
man, I am doing everything I can right now. Okay, welcome to Pascal Raw. But anyway, so here it is, man. The world is losing their minds right now. Why, you may ask? It's because this man, Elon Musk, has literally bought Twitter. I didn't think this was going to be a real thing, but lo and behold, this is a real thing. He literally has bought Twitter at $44 billion. $44 billion. I could have sworn that he did an offer for 42. I think it was like 42.1. I don't remember the numbers. All I know is still a lot of money, but it seems like he added just maybe a bill or two on there. I don't know. I don't know. He said I'm not negotiating anymore. I'm not negotiating anymore. And then it's still at 44 billion. So clearly something happened. He tried to maybe outbid somebody else. So we got to go into this article real quick. All right. So Twitter said today, it has agreed to sell itself to Elon Musk in a roughly 44 billion. How is 44 billion roughly? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe they're rounding up. Maybe that's what it is. But they're roughly 44 billion. It's still a whole lot of money. So, $44 billion deal that has the potential to expand the billionaire's business empire and put the world's richest man in charge of one of the world's most influential social media networks. Okay. So, the deal, which will take place, which will take the company private. That's another piece of information that I found very interesting, and I think we're on the same page, you and me, JT. Off a whirlwind period in which the Tesla and SpaceX CEO became one of Twitter's largest shareholders, was offered and turned down a seat on its board and bid to buy the company in less than a month. It is like billions, okay? Literally, it's like billions for crying out loud. We're just watching this in real life, okay? Under the terms of the deal, shareholders will receive $54.20 in cash for each share of Twitter stock they own, matching Musk's original offer and making a 38% premium over the stock price the day before Musk revealed his stake in the company. He said, if I'm correct, this is what he said. He says, free speech is the bedrock. I can make your bed rock. Okay, I'm sorry. Free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy, and Twitter is the digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated. He said this in a statement on Monday. Today, Twitter has tremendous potential. I look forward to working with the company and the community of users to unlock it. So here it is. We got to tap into this just a skosh. Okay. Yes, I said skosh. Okay. So one of the things is, first off, the company, first off, he bought it for $44 million. $44 billion. I'm sorry. Right. So turn the M into a B, right? So, first off, is that a good deal or no?
Listen,
is that a good deal?
Depends on the buyer, right? Obviously, someone of Elon Musk's stature, he has plans for Twitter. And if from his perspective, what he's going to gain by virtually, I mean, it's like he's almost buying a communication industry in a sense. I mean, so much you can do with having this network of people that you can communicate to at the touch of a button, and also have other people who have built platforms based on this. So it's like buying a whole network, right? It's the difference between, you know, okay, you can HBO, you can buy ABC, but it's like you're almost buying an industry of communication when it comes to Twitter, because there's so many different viewpoints and companies that communicate through this company. Now he wants to do something through that avenue, whatever he wants.
Interesting, because this was the question I was going to ask, and so what is asked to hear. Ebony Apple Pie, I guess, Apple Pie? Let's see what you did there. They said, then what is his vision? Because you're saying he's got a vision. What do you plans are then?
If I knew his plans, I would probably be on his team. I have no idea. I got some idea, but honestly,
then speak on it, baby.
Well, I mean, he's got all of these other business ventures that he has, right? I mean, he's got Tesla, he's got the SpaceX programs, he's got so many other things that he can funnel, and now they have this Twitter to use to help that. And then also, I mean, I remember when certain like NFL games and stuff like that, I mean, you can communicate and have certain things go through this network. I mean, there is an ex-president who, you know, is trying to get back into social media, and the ways that he's talking and the things that he, think of the political sway he is going to have now that he owns.
Okay, so no, sorry. I understand what you're saying there, but what does Trump? No, sorry. It's like I try so hard not to like resort to this to D Trump, but we're going there.
Right.
So, what does Trump have anything to do with Twitter? I see a lot of people losing their damn minds, going, "Oh my God, you know, Elon Musk. Oh my God, you know, President 45's coming back," and all that stuff.
Right.
What does that have to do with anything with Twitter? In my personal opinion, I don't see the connection. I don't see the big deal. Whether he comes back on Twitter or not, why? Like, why is that such a big deal? Do you know?
I don't think it matters as much as him particularly coming back or not. I think what it matters is that now this one man, Elon Musk, has the ability to bring him back. He has that ability. He can just red stamp it and say, yes, we're bringing him back. So that just shows the political power that he now has. So if he's able to bring a Donald Trump back onto Twitter, what type of political favors, or at least the influence he can have over the political process? And remember, when you are doing business, you have to navigate the political process. Even this deal within itself, there's regulations that he has to go through with the SEC to make sure that this deal goes through. When you have a influence over politics, it makes business easier. That's why they donate to campaigns. It's not because they particularly like individuals who are running for office. It's for the influence that they can have. How much influence can someone who now owns Twitter, how much influence can they have over politicians who need to be able to communicate to the multiple millions of people on Twitter?
Interesting. Okay. And I also saw some other people talk about this, basically saying like, Elon Musk taking this over basically will say censorship will be gone, right? There will be no control. It'll just be the Wild West. Hence the reason why in this particular article as well, it says that this company is now going to be private.
Right.
So when they say something like that, in my mind, I keep thinking, well, if it's going to be private, then he can do whatever the hell he wants. He can relinquish, lift the veil or any of the stoppage that is out there as far as people being able to use their free speech and speak their minds on a platform like Twitter back in the day, or before, as of yesterday, up until yesterday, let's just say, people were able to. There was a little bit more of a, there was a threshold,
right?
You couldn't just go out there and just throw out misinformation. You couldn't just say racial slurs. You couldn't do anything of that sort. But now that Elon Musk is going to be taking this over, people are there is that concern. Not only just about 45, but given the fact that a lot of people who are extremes on either side of the spectrum, they get there's a concern that all of them, they're going to release the hounds. Basically, the hounds will be released. And so somebody I saw this on Twitter. Somebody was like, "Yo, it's basically like Elon Musk is going to throw a big ass party now. You're getting invited to the biggest party where anything goes. Are you going to want to go to that party or not?"
Right.
And in my mind, I'm going, well, maybe a part of crazy people will sit there and go, hell yeah, Coachella every day. Hell yeah. You mean Amsterdam and Coachella at the same damn time?
Right.
Hell yeah, I'm with it. You see what I'm saying? But then there's other people that are going to be like, well, what about my kids? What about other people who are on there doing things? Where's the safety? There will be no safety net now that Elon Musk is taking over Twitter. At least that's the concern that I'm seeing out here in these streets. What are your thoughts?
I wouldn't be too concerned about that. And here's why. While even though he has taken this company from being public to being private, what that basically means is he no longer has to answer to stockholders, right? When you are a public company, and this is something that you learn in school when you study finance, the number one purpose of the company is to increase stockholders' equity. What does that mean? To make your stockholders money, to make the stock price go up. That's the number one purpose. And if the people who are in charge, right, if the executive suite of employees are not taking on actions and doing things within the company that is improving the stockholders' equity, then the board of directors or whoever ends up getting voted in will fire those people, because that's the job. You have to be making decisions that makes the people who own the company, the shareholders, you need to be making them money. Then when you take a company that was once public and now private, you can make business decisions that can perceivably run contrary to making money. That's where he has a lot of room now. Every decision that is made, every major decision that is made from Twitter as a private company does not have to be focused on improving the stock price. Right now, as it being public, it has to be. That's what it has to be. It's about improving shareholders' equity. But as far as the Wild Wild West, I wouldn't be too concerned, because even though Twitter is a platform, right, where we can all jump on and we can share our ideas and express, the things that we think about and our opinions, you still have to end up on this.
No doubt.
Right? You still got to end up on someone's phone. So at the end of the day, if it goes too wild, too crazy, you still have a Google, you still have an Apple that can push the brakes and say, you know what? We are going to delist you from our app store.
Oh, so that's where they can have a little bit of control.
Yeah,
I guess.
Come on. Who's going to Twitter through their web browser on their phone?
No doubt. No doubt. And I don't even think Twitter's even made that way.
Right.
Actually.
You can. You can go to Twitter on your web browser.
True.
But no one's trying to do it.
You're not going and downloading it through a website, going to Google and trying to download Twitter through through an online website. You're going to your store on your Google or your Apple phone and downloading that ish.
So when as far as it being a Wild Wild West and these extremist groups from either political aisle, right? I'm not too concerned about that, because at the end of the day, Twitter still depends on these app stores to be their access to their end users. So they're going to play a little loose now, but they're going to stay in line, because the death knell would be you're no longer listed in the app store. You can't do any more updates. People are actually going to go, because if you ever try to use Twitter on your browser, it's a headache. It's a headache. Like
it's a pain in the ass.
Certain pictures, it says, "Oh, you got to approve this picture and log in and do all that." It's not the same functionality as it is on the app. So people calm down.
Okay.
It's not going to go crazy because at the end of the day, they still have to, appease the app stores.
Well, okay, because he also says here, and you're dropping knowledge and never really appreciating that too here really quick. Well, they're all saying you ain't shit, but outside of that, I'm totally kidding. They're loving everything because you're just dropping knowledge. Please go and hit that subscribe button over on his YouTube channel. Dag nabbit, show this man some love. Okay, so real quick, because he says here, free speech is the best. Let's be real. He clearly is focused on the idea of freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Freedom. Give us a free Amistad. You know what I'm saying? So he's literally saying free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy.
Yeah.
And Twitter is the digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated. Yeah. So when I sit there and see something like this, when he makes that kind of comment, I go, oh, damn. He's going to release the Kraken. Like, that's what's going to happen. He's just going to let it all go loose. He's going to let the freak flag fly, and everyone's going to be able to have access. Everybody. Yeah. And it's not just Trump. It's not just these damn evil doers that are in that political spectrum. We're talking about everybody. And that's every extreme.
And listen.
Warts and all, baby.
I can understand that that's what you hear. But from a finance guy, what I hear is I'm still trying to maintain the credibility of this brand that I'm buying. And I'm trying to make sure that I maintain the credibility of what Twitter is and what Twitter is going to be. Obviously, I think there were decisions that the higher-ups on Twitter made that he doesn't agree with. Right? I mean, he obviously has a more liberal type of mindset, and you're probably going to see his liberal mindset imprinted on the new Twitter going forward. But a free-for-all, you're not going to get that. You're not going to get a free-for-all because at the end of the day, that free-for-all is going to hurt his bottom line.
Gotcha. Okay, but because his bottom line is already the people that already exist. There. Yeah. The consumers, already the people like myself. Follow me on Twitter. Shameless plug. You know what I'm saying? Follow Pocket Watching with JT as well.
Right.
Don't forget to do that on Twitter too, okay? We out here, okay? Even if it is even if it does become the Wild Wild West, we will still have our own Twitter account. Because now anything goes, right? But I do think that there's that piece where there's just going to be no control. There's no control. And then of course you see somebody like Elon Musk, who's a character in himself as well. Right. And then you bring somebody back like Trump. Right. And I'm not sitting here like, okay, let me just say this about okay, because I have to be very careful about what I say about Trump, because I'm not trying to say anything bad or good towards Trump, because I don't want to get it twisted, y'all. Hold up. Okay, but I feel like the as Ricard just said, the streets of Twitter. I feel like the streets of Twitter is not Trump himself. Does that make sense? Yeah, because he represents something larger. It's a larger ideal that I'm worried about. It's he's out here now. Oh, we can be there too, guys. Right. The Proud Boys and the even more extreme than them. You see what I'm saying? Is the main concern of mine. I mean, we still have our Marjorie Taylor Greens out there doing their damn thing, acting a damn fool too. But that's another conversation in itself. But you see, like, if they give that room to grow, then this could turn into a mess. Yeah, and then you're sitting there going, okay, control. Right. Eventually, it's going to go back because you got somebody like, say, Google or Apple, right, that are looking at this and they're going, wait a second, hold up, though. Yeah. You literally released the Kraken, and now everything's going down in a barrel of burning cat piss. We ain't got time for this. So now we got to put up. Now we got to tell you we're not gonna promote the Twitter app on our things. Yeah. So now you gotta reel everybody back, and then everyone gets pissed off. You see what I'm saying? And then the cycle continues.
Right.
Then Elon will have to be like, "Oh, sorry guys, unfortunately, there's only so much you can do on this on this platform, so on and so forth."
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, when people talk about Twitter and the censorship on Twitter, let's put that in some sort of perspective.
Okay.
Because Twitter is still the wildest of all these social media platforms that you can go to. I mean, Twitter, you could still have X-rated material. There'd be the P word up there.
Right.
Let's be real.
You didn't even expect it. You just typed in like sandwich, and then all of a sudden, blow! You're like, wait a second.
Listen.
Wait a second. I'm in public. I didn't even say. You know.
Don't have a friend named Ebony.
No.
Don't look up Ebony. Don't run that mistake.
No Trina. No. Don't even type in Julie, or you can keep it basic as hell.
Right.
And it'll still be like, wait, what? Wait, I'm in. Bruh, I got kids around. I didn't know it was gonna be like this.
So let's keep some perspective. Twitter is still the wildest place on the social media world. So it's still that, but obviously Elon is going to try to leverage the fact that he has this communication tool. And that's what he needs to do as a businessman. It only makes sense for him to leverage this communication tool that many powerful people around the world also use. So if many powerful people around the world, you're talking about from your local politicians to world leaders, use Twitter to communicate. Well, if he has an influence over that and that has an influence over them, then he has some degree of influence over them.
I see. I got a comment here I'm just going to pull up here. Devin S. said, thanks so much for the comment on YouTube. He said, Elon Musk buying Twitter won't change anything much, Pascal. And you know what? You may be 110% right. There, maybe this whole thing of him buying this thing may be just one gigantic nothing burger. It could be nothing, or it could literally be insane, right? It could be absolutely crazy, and the freaks come out at night. You see what I'm saying? And that might be the situation, though. Yeah. But I guess all we can do is sit back, pop some popcorn, get a nice libation right next to us, and just enjoy the ride. Right. Until then. But I don't know what he's planning on doing with it, but we'll see. And of course, I do think. And I maybe you agree. I do think that Trump's coming back. I mean, clearly that's.
I believe so.
I think he's gonna go. Come on back in, and then everything's gonna be fine until Trump gets found guilty of some things. That's just what I think.
But just think about Elon and his history, right? Think about his history in business, the major things that he's done. His participation in working in PayPal changed the way that we view commerce online. Before PayPal, I mean, for the large part, people felt unsafe to do transactions online. Ever since PayPal and him coming up with PayPal with partners, it wasn't him by himself. Now we feel it's not even a thought to spend money and to share your financial information online. Then think about Tesla. Before Tesla, the idea of having mass-produced electronic automobiles on the road was a pipe dream. He's the type of person who tries to disrupt industries. He comes in and he figures out a way to get you to spend money in a way that you did not originally think you were going to try to spend money. So it's not as far as what is he going to do with Twitter to make it a wild, wild west or something like that. It's really what is he going to do with this company to change the way we spend our money. He's got something in mind. What it's going to be, I'm not sure. But he's going to try to do something that really changes the way that we spend money.
I mean, unless it's like he tries to turn this into a new platform where it's like YouTube, Twitter, and like Amazon smashed into one. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. It very well could be.
he highly commercializes the hell out of Twitter so that it's just its own pay site. I mean, Twitter was trying to do some things here where they were like trying to, hey, you can charge people a subscription so that they do this, that, and the third per month, blah, blah, blah. Kind of like a Patreon.
Yes.
Or like a membership on YouTube.
I've seen little Clubhouse type of features on Twitter.
Right.
So he's most likely going to try to find a way to convert all of these people who are connecting through Twitter and find a new revenue model for that. That's most likely going to be the way. Now, there's going to be the exciting things in the news and the headlines of maybe 45 coming back, maybe a little easing up on the fact checking and stuff like that, but also probably more guidelines on age restrictions and things like that to try to give it some sort of balance. But at the end of the day, he did not become a billionaire based on doing crazy things that's not going to make him money. He's going to do the things that's going to make him money, and most likely that's not going to be having a forum where just the wildest and craziest and harmful things are going to be displayed on that platform.
Gotcha. I mean, it'll be very interesting to see what he does and where Twitter goes from here, because obviously it's all about that growth. It's all about seeing what they can do. And here it is. He's innovative as hell. We can't fight that. There's no argument there at all. He is definitely innovative as hell. He got a whole lot of monies. He got his own space station in space. Let's not forget that. You know what I'm saying? He got a whole thing in space. He got spaceships.
Right.
Literally. This man, he's been doing some really dope things. Whether we like him or not,
right.
He's been doing some really innovative things and changing the way we look at energy and the way we look at cars, automobiles, space travel. Man, shoot, he's talking about Mars for. You know what I'm saying? He has his own internet. I forgot. This man got his own internet. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude got some things.
So yeah,
he was hooking up Ukraine with internets. Like, what the hell? So okay,
yeah.
I'm very interested to see what he does. And for me, it doesn't bother me about 45. Doesn't bother me about cult of 45.
No.
What I am concerned is what comes after 45 coming through. If it does. If the threshold or the ban is lifted on Trump, then who else is going to be coming through, and what kind of rhetoric is going to be spat out on the Twitters. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
We'll have to sit back, wait and see, man. It's crazy though. Dude got his own internets. I mean, I'm just saying, he got his own internets. Son of a bitch. Anyway, I just forgot about that. Yeah, it's naturally coily cuteness. Okay, she said, or they said, he owns Starlink, right? Am I right about that? Yep, you are most definitely right about that. He definitely owns Starlink. He owns his own damn internets. Okay, and all that other stuff. I mean, actually, he might be the reason why there will be a rise of robots trying to take over humankind here. I'm just being real. He could literally be the black guy in Terminator 2 Independence Day. You never thought about that?
Skynet.
You never see Skynet. Thank you. Starlink, Skynet. They're the same thing. Only thing is that he white and that dude black. That is it. Truth right here, guys. Come on, let's think about it. You know what I mean? James Cameron was predicting the future. All these robots are going to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. We're going to start making them. Why? And then they're going to take over. And then somebody's going to have to go back to 1984 or whatever, knock up some lady, some girl named Sarah Connor that's going to change the world. You see what I'm saying? Right. It's just different. It's just different colors. It's just different races, y'all. It's totally normal. But anyway, I digress. Going off that random tangent here. But yes, Skynet, Starlink. Come on, y'all. Put it together. Damn. All right. Okay. And I think he literally is the first African American to own a social media. I think he's
Who? What's it?
Elon Musk. Isn't he from South Africa? Ain't he South African? He's South African, ain't he? Fam. and he's oh my God. I'm here all day, guys. Okay. I'm just saying, ain't he South African? Somebody Google it really quick because I got too many things open here. Somebody Google it. I think he's South African. Okay. So he did. Sorry. Anyway. I love you guys. Anyway, hey, by the way, hit that like button down below real quick before we go on to our next topic. Okay? Hit that like button down below. Send it past 200 likes for me really quick if I just tickled your ribs real quick, okay? I'd really appreciate it. And, of course, if you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button. But I swear to God, isn't he from South Africa? He's not like Belgium or something. Yes, he's South African. Yes. Yes, he is South African. So I'm right.
You're technically correct.
I'm technically right. Technically. Won't he do it? You know what I'm saying? Yes. Yes, won't he do it? Yeah. Okay, anyway. So we got to get into it, okay? Make a short out of that, Pascal. You know what, Shay? I might. I just might. You know what I mean? Black History Month, he's added in. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real. You know what I'm saying? That would be amazing. I'm with it. Anyway. Okay, guys. So we got to go into this next topic. It's one of our main topics of the night. All right. And it has to do with Megan Thee Stallion. Okay. Now, I know a lot of you guys are and Ebony, I know. He's a colonizer. I know. He's not really African. Okay. It's just a joke. But I got you. Thank you for the correction. I appreciate it. Okay. He's the white Nelson Mandela. I'm done. Oh my God, my family is hilarious.
I know.
I'm just telling you, my family is freaking hilarious. Okay, that's why I love you, Zozo Bob. Always with the funny. Okay, so here it is, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry, Nelson Mandela. Sorry, that's beautiful. Okay, Megan Thee Stallion. Okay, today, Megan Thee Stallion. I'm done with the Nelson Mandela. I swear to God, I'm done. Okay. Megan Thee Stallion recently sat down with Gayle King on the CBS Morning show, talking about when she got shot in the feet. She got shot in both feet, apparently.
Okay.
Now, of course, it's still kind of being alleged because a lot of people still don't. There are people out here that think that she's lying. Straight up lying. So we got a little bit of a clip I want to show you guys because, you know, there's a lot of people that are kind of roasting the hell out of this situation. And they're basically saying that her cries were not real, that her tears were fake, that she was just crocodile tears, straight cat. Okay? So we got to go into this one article really quick. Of course, she talks about the details surrounding the shooting that involved Tory Lanez. And if you don't know who that Oompa Loompa is, Tory Lanez is a rapper. And so there's just been this weird thing going on what actually went down. Who did this? Is this real? Is this not real? Is this a lie? Who's lying? Because somebody's lying on either side, okay? And I know this has nothing to do with finance, but hey, this is why I got my brother in the house. We talk about other things other than just finance. All right? So let's get into this article really quick. So Megan Thee Stallion sat down with Gayle King on CBS Mornings to discuss the 2020 incident in Los Angeles that left her foot, is apparently both her feet apparently, injured by 2 gunshots. She got shot in the feet twice. That's insane. Okay. So Megan has previously identified her alleged assailant as rapper Tory Lanez, whom she claimed shot her, or busted a cap from her inside the actual SUV following a verbal altercation. I know this is really messed up, man.
It's ridiculous.
This whole thing is so sad.
Yeah.
And what's so sad about this is that people are just not. the fact that people think she's lying. We're gonna talk. Yeah. We're gonna talk about it. Hold up, because we got a video. We got to show you guys the video too, real quick. But Lanez was arrested on felony gun charges the night of the incident and was later charged with felony assault in connection with his arrest. Lanez has since pleaded not guilty to the charges. Speaking with Gayle King, Megan said that she feared for her life as Lanez allegedly shot at her after screaming, "Dance, B!" Real talk. Like, I'm sorry, that makes me think of Back to the Future.
Oh, Back to the Future.
Like the Back to the Future Western one.
Yeah.
Back to the Future 3, where he's like dancing. He starts like doing the moonwalking and dancing like Michael Jackson. Anyway, I'm like, who says that?
That took me back to Goodfellas. I'm a gangster movie type of guy. That's a good one too. Yeah, Goodfellas, where he told him to dance and then actually ended up shooting the guy.
Yes. So who does that? You know what I'm saying? Who does that? Who got time to do that anyway? But anyway, so. She says this: I never put my hands on anybody. I never raised my voice too loud. I don't know what that means, but we're going to talk about that later. This was one of those times where it shouldn't have gotten this crazy. Megan said that Lanez quickly began apologizing after the incident, saying that he would give her $1 million to not speak up about the incident, but also not offering any help as she lay injured in the driveway. Excuse me. Later in the segment, Megan detailed her experience at the Cedars-Sinai hospital after the shooting, sharing part of a medical report indicating that she still has small bullet fragments remaining in one of her feet. Remember, she got shot in both feet, both of them. Okay. The report also revealed text messages. That's what's crazy too. Allegedly between another passenger in the car, one of her good friends, and Lanez's security guard reading, help, Tory shot Meg. And then, of course, there's the interview. Now, he was, of course, arrested on July 12th, 2020, after police responded to an incident or a disturbance call outside of the Hollywood Hills home around 4:30 a.m., as TMZ initially reported. When law enforcement officials arrived on the scene, they reportedly saw people arguing in a SUV before gunshots were fired, and then the car drove away. Officers then located what they believed to be the SUV and found Tory Lanez, Megan Thee Stallion, and another woman as passengers. Police also located a concealed firearm, which was while searching the vehicle. Days later, Megan shared a statement disclosing that she had suffered gunshot wounds and had undergone surgery for bullet removal. Later that month, she opened up about her injuries in an emotional video. Sorry. She went on her social media live and all that. Right. But she did not identify her alleged assailant as Lanez until August of that same year. Mm-hmm. Yes, this N-word shot me. This N-word Tory shot me, Megan said during an Instagram live session. You shot me. You got your publicists and your people going to these blogs lying and ish. Stop lying. Why lie? She added that there were 4 people in the SUV when an argument broke out. She said she then exited the car to distance herself from the argument. Mm-hmm. Megan alleged that she was outside the vehicle when Tory Lanez shot her, bust the cap, 2 caps apparently, at her while he was still inside the car. So, all this stuff happened 2 years ago, y'all, or almost 2 years ago, right? Crazy stuff. Okay, now we got a little bit of a clip from her sitting down with Gayle. We gotta look at this, because I thought this was very interesting. And wait, actually, hold up. Let me fix something real quick, because this thing be funny sometimes.
Oh, trust me, man. That's why I feel so good being on this side of the table.
You're like, yes, to be free. So yes, let's look at this right quick. Here we go.
An argument in the car? It was an argument because I was ready to go and everybody else wasn't ready to go. But that's like normal friend stuff. Like, we fuss about silly stuff all the time. But I never put my hands on anybody. I never raised my voice too loud. Like, this was one of them times where it was like, it shouldn't have got this crazy.
It shouldn't have escalated to
Right.
the way that it did.
So I get out the car and it's like everything happens so fast. And all I hear is this man screaming, he said, "Dance, bitch." And he started shooting. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, he shot a couple of times. And I
So
was
is
so
he
scared.
in the car shooting from the car, Megan?
He
How
is standing up over the window shooting.
Now, one of the things, I'm going to play the rest of this clip, but some people are saying she's straight cap right here. Straight lying because they're saying, this man is short. How are he going to be able, is this SUV? How is he going to be able to stand over the window and shoot down at her? Unless he was standing. I keep thinking that he was standing in the car and he was like standing in the car,
Right,
and
like
was pointing
lurching over.
Right,
that's what makes sense to me. He's probably reaching and lurching over towards her. Yeah.
Right. So then, so people are sitting here going, "Oh, look at her, fake crying and trying to do all this stuff." But one of the things people are saying is, how would he be able to do that? That dude's short. You know what I mean? Real talk. They're saying, what do you think? Why are you saying this when this dude's short? You know what I'm saying? But let's listen to the rest of this. Only about 20 more seconds.
And I didn't even want to move. I didn't want to move too quick. Like, because I'm like, oh my God, if I take the wrong step, I don't know if he can shoot something that's like super important. I don't know if he could shoot me and kill me. Like,
Were you afraid for your life at that time?
I was really scared because I had never been shot at before.
Okay.
No shade.
Oh, that's random. So there you have it, guys. There are some obviously people out here that are not believing Megan Thee Stallion. They're not believing this interview at all. They're saying this is all straight, literal lies. And I'm still fam. I'm still trying to figure this out, y'all. Because for me, I don't know what is true and what's not. There are other things that are being said in this interview, and she has said it before in other things in her Instagram lives and all that, where she said, "Hey, there is a reason why when I first got shot and the cops showed up and they asked me what happened, and I said I stepped on glass, was because I was scared somebody was going to get hurt by the police." She literally used George Floyd. I'm not kidding you. She said George Floyd had just happened a few weeks before.
Right.
I was really scared about the 5-0 going up, start blasting because we got the heater in the car.
Yeah.
Or God knows. I mean, well, she didn't say this, but in my mind, I keep thinking, well, maybe she was worried that Tory Lanez was acting a damn fool, and he seems like a little bit of a hothead, and he might have. If she said he shot me, he might try to shoot at the cops because he's just hot right now. So there's just a lot to unfold on this piece, but for me, it still doesn't make any sense why one would literally go to the cops and say, "I stepped in glass," hold that lie for a while. Then it comes out saying that their medical reports came out, like she was in the hospital. The cops are about to leave, basically saying, "Okay, you stepped in glass. All right, sweetheart." And the cops a physician came up and was like, "We just ran tests and we're pulling out bullet fragments out of your body right now. So you didn't step in no glass, sweetheart."
Right.
So the cops are like, "What's up with that?" So she obviously kept that information, then did all these lies or all these lives, and then finally said, "No, it was Tory who finally shot me." You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like this weird series of lies that now are backfiring on her rather than helping her. You know what I mean? What are your thoughts?
It's just in my profession, I deal with couples a lot, right? Because I'm not only dealing with clients as individuals, I deal with clients as married couples. And what I've seen
And
a
you
lot,
know these married couples like to hide money from each other.
Oh my,
You know who you are. I'm just saying.
I've seen a lot of times in domestic dispute situations where the victim, when the police arrive, they will take up for their spouse. We are forgetting that, Megan Thee Stallion is young, right?
Hella young.
Let's not act as if this is some 51-year-old multimillionaire businesswoman with a lot of experience. She is a young woman with a lot of money and a fame, but she's a young woman who was romantically involved with this man, I believe, right? I mean, I'm not. She was romantically involved with this man.
I forgot to tell you that part too.
Right?
So they tell you this added piece. So Gayle, because Gayle likes to have the ooey gooey, right? Mm-hmm. She likes to have the salacious stuff. Mm-hmm. So she asked her, were you guys in a romantic relationship? Mm. And Megan flat out said no. Okay. That is cap. I'm sorry. That is so hard. That is such a lie, in my personal opinion.
Right. Here's one piece of it.
Straight up lie.
Right. She might be channeling her inner Bill Clinton. Her perception
depends on what is.
Right. And I think it's a difference of what she thinks a romantic relationship is or not. Because honestly, it was more than a platonic relationship. In my mind, right? I think it was more than a platonic relationship.
I mean, sure. They were just friends.
Right. I've seen situations where in the heat of the moment, obviously you're going to take up for, even if it's not, I've seen situations, brother and sisters, right? No romantic relationship, but still a relationship there where a fight broke out, right? Let's say there was a reading of the will. Right, and one sibling did not receive what they thought they should, right. And a physical altercation would break out. Yeah, and then when the authorities arrive, cooler heads, are there, and the other person just denies what happens. But in this situation, to me, even though there was some inaccurate information that went out initially, it still follows a logical pattern. She went from defending someone, if she was in a romantic relationship or not, she was defending someone that she had a relationship with. Be it just friends or romantic, she had a relationship with.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, she said that they were tight. Right. That they were tight. Like, they were like brother and sister type thing. They hung out a lot. They were very close. Mm-hmm. She said that there was no sexual relations with that man, Bill Clinton. Right. But at the same time, I could still see someone who's young, someone who is confused, someone who is in the industry and maybe doesn't want to be blacklisted, doesn't know what to do, so instantly will sit there and try to save everybody and take the L instead of going, oh, he shot me. Nah. You know what I mean? So I keep thinking that there's something deeper than just the shooting that went down. I think it was more like the bag too. Right. I don't know. It's so strange.
Another piece of it, you got to think of it. They are a part of a very exclusive fraternity, if you think about it, right?
True.
I'm literally in a fraternity, right? I know what goes on, and I know the bonds that we have as brothers in our fraternity. Celebrities on the level of a Meg Thee Stallion or Tory Lanez, they are in a very exclusive fraternity. Even if you have internal issues with someone who's in a special club like that, when authorities from the outside come in, you still tend to take up for that person, even if you're at odds with them. The fact pattern of where things are still seems somewhat logical. She was defend until the medical people got involved, and the police got involved to the point where this lie, this cover up of saying that you stepped on glass no longer holds up. Yeah. We have proof to the contrary. We can see you were actually shot. At that point, okay, let me tell you what actually happened, because I can no longer keep up this lie of saying that I stepped in glass. To me, I've seen it happen hundreds of times. It's not abnormal. It's not. Now, I'm not saying what she's saying is 100% true. Right. I'm just saying in this situation, it's not abnormal.
Okay. And I get it. I get the part of it being not abnormal. Mm-hmm. But you got somebody who is a known name that is out here that's highly revered as, like that next it girl, as far as, about to be the rap queen and all that stuff, take over these, be up there against Cardi B's and the so on and so forth, right? Lack of the terminology and all that stuff. Just roll with me, fam, okay? But you get what I'm saying. Then all of a sudden this thing happens and she goes, oh, I stepped in glass. Cool. Then she goes to the hospital. They say, nope, that's a straight lie. You have bullet fragments in your feet. Right. Then she comes out and she goes, I guess she kept her mouth shut to a certain extent, and then suddenly goes live on her IG and says, nah, man, he shot me. Wait a second. What? Okay. You said nothing happened.
Right.
You said no. You have no clue who did what. Right. And then all of a sudden, a month later, you go, oh no, Tory did it now. That's the part that doesn't work for me, because I get that people will start with a lie to cover their ass. And then suddenly they go, crap, I just painted myself into a corner. There's no way of getting out of this. So here's the truth. All of it. But she didn't do that. It was lie. Truth. Some of the truth came out. She still was protecting people.
Right.
Then out of nowhere, more truth came out. After after having these white lies sprinkled around within that truth. So now we got people who are out here just like myself and you even too, sitting here scratching our heads and going, what's the truth then? Because I'm confused. A second ago it was glass, turned into this. Then it wasn't that, it was this now. Oh, but then on top of that, you got this truth. So we got that detail, but then you're still being fuzzy and weird on these other details.
Right.
But then a month later, you go, okay, here's all the details. Then you got other people going, no, the guy who you said was holding the gun, pulling the trigger, he's saying that's straight cap. So it's like, what's going on? Like, you see what I'm saying? It's kind of,
I get
it's that weird, it's that weird rabbit hole that she threw us all in. And you can't help but wonder, or sit here and wonder if she's telling the truth, or if even Tory Lanez is now telling the truth. And I think that's the reason why people are sitting here going, man, she's straight lying. These are crocodile tears. We just saw you just saw the video, and that's just a snippet of what she has done on the in the interview. She's crying a lot in the interview and all that. She's telling her piece. Funny thing is Tory Lanez can't do his piece because he's obviously in trial, and she's the victim. He's the assailant, so he can't say anything yet. It's some crazy stuff. So it's like
he can, but upon advice from counsel, he's not.
Well,
nothing's stopping him. He can talk.
Now, if I'm correct, he did get into some trouble here for trying to address things on social media, and that's why he was in jail like a few weeks ago.
Right.
He can't address anything at all. He can't address her. He can't address the incident, that stuff. But yes, she's on Gayle King. She's Oprah Light. You know what I'm saying? Oprah Light, and is now being able to tell her side of the story.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And people are going like, well, what the hell? Why are you doing this right now? Why don't you just wait for the trial, do the trial, get it over with, and then do your exclusive? Why do this now? You see what I'm saying?
The issue is that's not how our media works, right? That's just not the world that we live in. People want to hear the story now.
Right.
There's already the court of public opinion that's out there.
It's been living there.
Right. And you have a Gayle King and you have a CBS that is willing to go out and try to get this information. So, it is what it is. I don't know about you. I'm addicted in my free time, the little free time that I have, but I'm addicted. I love to watch police interrogations.
Wow.
I will in the
That's
background. I will watch hours of a police. Oh, listen.
That's your bliss,
man.
That's your calming moments. Where were you? You're like, zen moment.
It's just so funny. One, it reminds me of how fortunate I am to never be in that situation,
or how to lie,
and how I'm going to act accordingly to make sure that I'm not in that situation. But what you'll see in these police interrogations is that's the normal way it goes. What ends up happening is it starts out with a denial. Then they're confronted with some bit of information where they can no longer do a complete denial. Then they tell truth, but the truth that paints them in the best picture.
Right.
Then eventually we get to a more centered truth at the end.
I see what you're saying, though, and that's true, and I get your point there. But the rest of the world doesn't watch. The rest of the world isn't weird like you, okay? So we don't sit there and go, ooh, my happy place. This is just like, ooh, you know,
48 hours.
hot chocolate and gingerbread men. You know what I mean? Like, no, we don't watch, interrogations like you.
Right.
So when it comes to that, instantly the court of public opinion is going to sit there and go, she's straight lying. We don't watch cops every day.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of people are going to automatically, like me for a second there, are going to sit there and side eye her like, how much of this is true? How much of this is a straight out lie?
Right.
And that's the problem right now.
Right.
And then she goes on to this show and she does her, the thing. And it's like, well, wait a second. I get you can be emotional. I get it, because that's a scary, terrifying thing. You just got shot,
right?
Or a bullet, 2 bullets ricocheted and hit you in the foot. I don't know how it was fragments and not a full-on bullet. Right. I don't know how it works. I don't know forensics or science or physics when it comes to bullets. But the fact that all that went down, it's like, wow. It's just a wild series of events.
Yeah.
There's new stories that are coming out, about the gun and what if there was his DNA on the gun and whatnot. So yeah,
right.
I get the whole process of a lie, right, or a process of getting the real truth, and slowly they will give you the details. That's why you see interrogations that last for 12 hours straight, and they'll go, can you go back over and do that one more time? Let's start from the beginning. Let's start from the top one more time. It's like, yo, I've told you this for 6 hours. How many other ways can I do this? And it's like, because eventually you start telling the story over and over and over again, you start slipping out more truths, more details. Absolutely. And it's like, wait a second. So it wasn't blue, it was green. Oh, yeah. No, it wasn't in your right hand, it was in your left. Yeah, it was in my left. Yeah, I forgot that detail. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I get that piece. But, man, some people out here just not feeling it.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest issues is, in a general sense, people love stories. People love stories.
Of course.
And people love a straight line narrative. The issue is there's never truly a straight line narrative in any one story. There's always things that make it more complex, but when they see a movie, when they watch TV, they get a simplified straight line narrative.
Right.
When someone is trying to explain a situation like this, there could be other things that they're trying to hide, right? What was going on prior to the time when they got into the SUV? Were there drugs usage involved prior, right? So you're trying to narrow down a story that paints you in the best of light. You want to keep it within the scope of the event, because honestly, when you start to zoom out and say, okay, what happened that full day? What happened when you first got up? You could be implicating yourself in something that's also either illegal or just something that hurts your reputation. Maybe not be illegal. It's just maybe you were involved in an activity that if it was known to your fan base, it would not paint you in the best light. So while you're trying to retell what happened, you're trying to omit that part. And it's extremely a tough thing to do. And that's why I can see from, a casual person's viewpoint, it's like, why couldn't you just tell the whole story? It's like, just think about this, people. Think about your wildest, craziest story from summer vacation or spring break. And if you had to tell your parents from the moment you got up all the way to the end of the day,
right,
you would be telling certain things that you would not want them to know. You only want to give them the highlight. That's what your timeline's about. Your timeline on your social media are your highlights of your life. it really doesn't give us a step-by-step, play-by-play narrative of your life, because honestly, your life isn't that exciting, right?
Yep.
You don't, and there's certain things that you've done throughout the day that you really don't want people to know. You just want them to know the highlights. So that's why you can have a situation where a person is telling a story and certain things they omit. It doesn't mean it implicates them in the criminal thing, but they just want to admit it because it's not the highlight that they want to present. And remember, this is still a very young girl in the grand scheme of things. She's a young girl who is thrust upon with millions of dollars and millions of eyeballs, and she still is trying to preserve the thing that she's been working for probably most of her life. For most of her life, she's been working to get to the platform she is right now in the music world. And she's going to let Tory Lanez and one event destroy that for her. Even if she, is the victim, she still doesn't want to allow all of that work to go to waste. So there's still a defense mechanism inside of us that's going to try to cover up anything that we don't want to have exposed to the world.
Yeah, right. Like being able to talk about your sex life and not talk about finances. I see what you did there. You'd be like, oh, by the way, I just got done S'ing some D's, but I'm not going to tell you about my credit score. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, but I see what you're saying.
Right.
I definitely see what you're saying. And you speaking facts. Everybody's, people are loving what you're saying, real talk. And you're right. When it comes to this, it sucks because yes, she's young. She's very, very young. Mm-hmm. She didn't know what in that situation. She didn't know what was the right thing to do, right. Whether it is because of George Floyd and blah 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 or not. Because some people are going, sorry, but I'm seeing a lot of people online being like, oh, because she's woke, so she had to say George Floyd, and I'm like, y'all just shut the hell up. I'm sorry. Right. This is a situation that is a black woman with other black people in a car. There was a shooting that went down. Cops have pulled up.
Right.
There was a heated argument. Mm-hmm. Someone was that heated to pull out a gun and tell her to dance.
Right.
And then shoot at her feet, whether he really shot at her feet or not. Maybe he was actually shooting eye level. You never know. Okay. But with that being said, all jokes aside, you got all that. And, you got a young woman who's thinking, damn, we just had somebody die. Viral. It touched everyone's life, whether were against it or for justice for George Floyd. Every single last person saw that video of the 8 minutes and 20, I forgot how many seconds, but still, we were all moved by that.
Right.
Everybody was moved by that. So when you hear that, and when you're there and you got cops and you got a smoking gun and you got this dude who's a little hothead,
right,
little Napoleon complex-ish going on.
Yeah.
I could see somebody fibbing out of fear, just pure fear.
Yeah.
But I feel like that lie, that detail, should not have stayed as the truth for so long.
Right.
I feel like she should have gotten in front of that as quickly as she bloody could, because now we got people all over the world who are sitting there going, yeah, sure, yeah, you crying, yeah, right, okay. And that's what sucks about this. It's all having a bad effect on it, and it's probably ruining her record sales. It's probably ruining a lot of stuff that she's probably wanting to do as becoming a household name, because this is attached.
Right.
This whole thing, this lie. And man, it's like that, you just said it earlier. I'm just going to piggyback on what you said. It's kind of like that whole, like, you start that one little white lie, but that white lie gets real gray, and then it just gets dark as hell because you're just trying to keep up with the lie. So you just add more lies on top of it to the point where no one's going to believe you now. Right. So that's what's going on with her. She's sitting down, chopping it up with, whether we agree with it or not. I don't. Okay, I'm gonna say it. I don't give a damn. I don't think this was the right time to do it. I don't think it was the right time for her to do this interview. I don't think she should have done it. I think she should have just gone, waited for the trial to go down and get all of her proof, all of her facts, all of her truth out there. Yeah. But then when you go, because you got to remember, Gayle did ask her, did you have a sexual relationship with this man? And she said no. A lot of people were going, man, quit lying. You lying.
I didn't believe it when you told me right.
Thank you. But now you're going to go into court of law. You're going to say yes, because you can't lie. You can't commit perjury on the stand for crying out loud.
Right. What points to me is that I'm sure there is a public relations team that she hired that is probably on retainer for multiples of thousands of dollars. If they and the attorneys have not prepped her before that interview, that would be gross negligence on their side. So I just have to err on the side of they probably did their job. And we'll see all the facts as they play out. But if they didn't, then clearly they will never be hired again.
Facts. And we'll see. We'll see how it all goes down. Now, with this whole thing, let me ask you this then, because you're the finance guy, you're the money guy. So let's talk about monies with this case. Should she file a civil suit? Should she try to go after his money? And what would be fair? What would be a fair number? Because we are going to be marching into another trial here that is the ridiculousness of the numbers are ridiculous. So I'm just saying.
In my experience, she should not file until the criminal case is completely done with. She does not want to taint the criminal investigation with any perceived financial gain. So she should wait until the criminal investigation is completely done. Then upon him being found guilty, then she would have some grounds because he would have been the cause of all of this mess. And we would have to take a look and say, okay, has this controversy hurt her financially? Was there any deals that were either on the table or already in place that she lost because of this controversy that Tory Lanez would have been the cause of?
Okay, let's talk about OJ then. I said it. Sorry, guys. I'll say it. He was found not guilty. Criminally.
Yes.
Then he went into civil court, and then he was found guilty.
Right.
But you're talking about her being found, or having him being found guilty in court, right? In a criminal court. And then if she does win, then she could take him to civil court. With, for example, I know old deep cut, but pun not intended. But with OJ, okay, with the OJ trial and all that, he was found not guilty, and they still tried him civilly.
Correct.
So why wouldn't she just be able to do that if he's just found not guilty as well?
She could. I'm erring on the side that the bullet fragments and all of that still leads to Tory. She could. But honestly, if he's found not guilty and for her to file, how much more damage would that do to her career? Right? I feel like that would actually do more damage for her to keep it a story by filing a civil case that after he won the criminal case.
But you're telling me that there wouldn't be damage for her if he is found not guilty? That's crazy. That would be no. Because if say like something in court is found that's damaging for her, as far as like damaging for her case against Tory Lanez, and he's ends up vindicated, then people are going to look at her as a straight liar.
Right.
So she'll be like you see what I'm saying? She'll be shunned upon because of he was vindicated for something that I guess the court said he didn't do.
Right. So that would make it even harder for her to win the civil case. Because if he was to win the criminal case and then she do a civil case, basically, the court would be looking at, well, your damages were self-inflicted. That's the difference between the OJ scenario and this one.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. It's just so wild to think that if that was to be the case, and he is found not guilty. I mean, even myself, I'm sitting there going, well, I would do everything I could to to come out on top of this in some sort of way. If something messed up, or I have a terrible legal team during the criminal case, and he still walks away, but that's still ruining my reputation too.
Yeah.
I'd be trying to do something
would try
to
to find
prove without a
something-
shadow of a doubt if I am telling the truth. That is, it
Right,
all
yeah.
goes down to
Yeah.
if I'm telling the truth or not.
Yeah, but
right.
honestly, I just feel like a civil case after he would be found not guilty of the criminal case would just be adding on to self-inflicted damages. For her career, it would make more sense just to move forward.
Gotcha.
Now, if he's found guilty, I feel like that would be different. It wouldn't be damaging to her perception in her career-wise if she would pursue something civil.
Gotcha. Okay, well, we gotta jump into some other things real quick, and because I know that's a big piece and a big conversation, and there's some people that feel some type of way about this. Whether the if she's telling the truth or not, blah blah blah. I do kind of agree with JT on this. I do feel that she kind of put herself between a rock and a hard place, and she's trying to wiggle herself out of the situation, but everyone's still going like, "Come on, quit, stop the cap." Just stop it. And I don't think that the crying and the interview helped her any more. I don't think it helped her at all.
Listen, those interviews are tough though, man.
Yeah.
Those interviews, man, you think you can just sit there, but if you have a Oprah or Gayle King on you
Word.
in one of those interviews, I mean they're good at what they do.
Yeah, they're
And
fantastic
They
what
want
they
to
do.
get
That's
you
why
to
they make the
cry.
money.
Right.
Yeah.
So
But when you see the crying though, it was so scared for my life, and there's no tears, no nothing. It just kind of feels like you're pushing it.
Gotcha.
You're pushing it. Yes, it probably was. You probably maybe not on camera, maybe out like when you're home with your family, with your loved ones, and you're reliving and recanting the story. I guarantee you're probably getting misty-eyed and crying. Absolutely.
Right.
But you on camera right now, lights are in your face. Oprah Light is in the house asking you these questions, and you're just sitting there going, I gotta squeeze them out because I need people to believe me.
Hey.
And that's the thing I think everybody's going, nah,
got you.
man.
I got you.
Now it just seems like you're trying to sell the story rather than tell the story.
Yeah.
But that's just my thoughts on that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we got to jump into the next thing because we got two more stories, actually two light ones. I want to jump into this quickly.
Okay.
Okay, so one of them really quick. I just did a live about an hour before I got here. Yeah, your man works hard for the money. Okay, but I covered the story of Johnny Depp, the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. We got to talk about this, y'all. We have definitely got to chop it up because I want to hear his thoughts. I want to hear Jason's thoughts on this whole thing. I don't know if I can call you Jason or should call you JT. I don't know.
JT's fine.
Bet.
JT's fine.
Okay.
My friend's JT.
Bet. Okay, then. There we go. JT. Okay. Not Justin Timberlake. All right. Okay. So we got to talk about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. This is the big, huge, high profile. Yeah. Not as big as Blac Chyna's defamation case, but this is $100 million defamation case between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. I just did a live just a little bit ago, exposing a lot of the lies, or at least one piece of audio that was a conversation between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. And throughout this thing, there's been some crazy stuff that's gone on in this relationship, bruh. Like, bruh. It's been insane.
Yeah.
But one of the main things is that in this particular one, they've had a very toxic relationship. Clearly, they had something really, really bad going on. Right. But then Amber Heard, just so you know a little bit, Amber Heard went out of her way to write an op-ed in Washington Post, basically talking about how she was in a relationship. I'm trying to find ways of saying this, of DV and SA.
Okay.
That she is, during this whole Me Too movement, the wave, she rode that wave.
Gotcha.
And instead of saying a person's name, she didn't put a name in there. But it was clear as day that she was talking about Johnny Depp.
Right.
So then Johnny Depp lost a lot of gigs, a lot of movies, all that stuff.
Yes.
You saw all that.
Yes.
I mean, every single man and woman, very light on the women, but every man and woman that was involved with the Me Too movement, that was a the assailant, right? The villain. Okay, a lot of them were canceled,
Right.
cut out.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp happened to be one of them. So he lost lots of bags.
Yeah.
So
Huge.
big bags. So he went out of so of course he filed a defamation lawsuit for $50 million. Then she went on to rebuttal, countersue for $100 million. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, this is it's ridiculous. Okay. So now we're in the middle of this trial that I think that we will be seeing, or people will be studying, talking about this for a long time, because this is a very big defamation lawsuit. And if Johnny Depp comes out vindicated in this situation, I'm telling you, I'm not kidding you, I really do believe law students are going to be studying this defamation lawsuit, because it's never been done before.
Yeah.
Somebody who is trying to protect and defend themselves in a defamation lawsuit and successfully prove that this person caused them not to work, caused them to mess up their bag
Right.
because of lies that were being told.
Right.
So if he does win, this is a huge case.
Yeah.
Right? And it's a huge case, bigger than just, two lovers being mad at each other.
Right.
So with that being said, there was an audio that recently came out. We just saw it on the show before I got here. And it was basically her more concerned about her reputation than actually trying to make amends with Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp is in the audio basically saying, hey, we don't have to be so volatile with each other publicly. We could do this behind closed doors. We can sign a piece of paper saying that we are going to take care of this behind closed doors, not in front of the public.
Right.
So basically going after her, saying, hey, you don't have to do what you're doing. You could stop that stuff. You don't have to go that far. She's still trying to take like this crazy manipulative narcissistic route, basically saying you made me do these things. Now, first off, he didn't make her write an op-ed
right.
to post into Washington Post.
Right.
Oh, and there's so many crazy things. He lost a tip of his finger. He got a tip of his right, or his left pinky, not his left pinky, I'm sorry, his left middle finger got the tip of it got lobbed off because she was throwing vodka bottles at his head, at him, I guess, and it severed the tip of his finger, his middle finger. It just gets worse and
Right,
worse.
yeah.
She was filming him behind his back when he's really, really drunk, finding out that he owed like hundreds of millions of dollars in back taxes because people weren't paying his taxes. Right. All this stuff. He loses his damn mind and he's caught on all this. So now we're in this case. Now we're in this trial.
Right.
And he's fighting for his life. You could tell he's fighting. And a lot of this stuff is starting to lean towards Team Johnny.
Right.
It's insane.
Yeah.
How quickly the pendulum is swinging this way. You know what I mean? You're like, damn, because you're used to it being the man is the violent, and he's a monster, and then the woman is just, she's dainty and all that stuff, right? And so now this is where we are right now. So I just wonder, I guess I'm curious, like financially speaking, because I know we're going to be talking about another defamation lawsuit here in a second,
right?
Which I think the numbers are just freaking ridiculous, y'all. But $100 million in this defamation lawsuit, because she countersued $100 million. Do you think that was a fair number or no?
Listen, I'm not aware of the business opportunities that this woman lost due to what she claims Johnny Depp did to her. To me, that seems like a high number. Because if Johnny himself, who was, is still probably one of the highest grossing actors in the last, 15, 20 years, if he was at 50, not exactly sure how she got to 100. Because
I'm still trying to figure that out too, bro. I don't know how that works.
Not sure how that quite works. And this isn't a male-female thing. This is just basic numbers. I'm pretty sure he was the highest grossing person in that relationship. So I'm not exactly sure how he would be at 50 and she thinks she's at 100.
I'm
I
still,
don't know.
bruh,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure this out, man, because I don't know how that person. He should have said 100 million and her 50. I can see that happening.
Yeah.
But to me, this exposes her character,
Right.
her true character, how she really is. Because if she really was just going to be like, hey, I lost a couple bags from this lawsuit or from this whole situation. All right, 50. Right. You know what I mean? But this is not that case.
It seems vindictive.
Thank you.
Yeah, it seems.
Thank you.
It seems a bit vindictive, and there are plenty of scenarios where people will use the court system to prove a point, to get back at someone. They're going to use the court system, and I think the reason why public opinion is swinging more towards Johnny Depp is because, based on the information that's available to them, we are seeing someone that is being very vindictive.
Oh my Lord. It's beyond. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord, bro. My God. Oh my God. It's so bad.
Right.
This whole thing. And I sit there and I'm looking at Johnny and I'm like, I know him. I'm looking at Johnny Depp like I know him. Like, looking at JD, you know what I'm saying?
21 Jump Street, man.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at him. I'm like, damn, my heart irks. My heart aches for this guy because how many times have we ever been in a situation? I'm just talking as far as men, as far as fellas, real quick. How many times have we ever been in a situation where the court of public opinion, whether that's the internet, the world, or just close friends, instantly will side with the girl in the relationship because they don't think that they could do something as volatile and as terrible. You know what I mean? Because that can only be a guy that does that to a woman, not a woman to a guy. And it's like, wait a second. It happens on both sides of the fence, baby. I'm just saying it happens on both sides. Yeah. So, and I see this and I'm going, oh man, you know what I mean? Like, this reminds me of like those guys who have bad breakups with girlfriends and the girl, like you have a long relationship and then, like in any divorce, you lose friends. Yeah, because those friends will go to sides. They got to pick sides. And you notice that a lot of times it'll be they'll side with the girl, and it's like, okay, I wasn't cheating. I didn't do. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't do anything crazy like that. It's just a breakup, man.
And what I've seen, because I see it from the financial side. I mean, I've seen assets have to get split up and stuff like that. And when I see family members and they normally side with the female because they feel as if the female needs the emotional support more. Because as males, we can take it. Ain't we
good. We're just doing burpees and push-ups afterwards. Like, come on now.
Right.
Come on now.
So that macho perception that we give off.
Right.
In that instance, it hurts us because people be like, he gonna be all right. She needs my support. So I'm going to side with her, or at least, I'm going to continue my relationship with her because she needs me. He doesn't need me. But the truth is, guys, we're just as vulnerable as women are when it comes emotionally. We just live in a world that tells us since the age of 3, get up and shake it off.
No
while
kidding.
Women are coddled. And I'm not saying good, bad, or indifference. I'm just saying that's the reality that we live in, and that's where it hurts us.
And that's so true. But most of the time, if we ever hear about a guy getting, throttled or attacked by their significant other that happens to be female, a lot of times it'll be like, come on, bruh. Is you serious? Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, you now it's an emasculating moment.
Yeah.
So then these guys that are out here, because there are guys out here that are victims.
Yeah.
They are.
Goes unreported all the time because of this.
All the time.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's like, so a girl being attacked, of course, terrible, and should be a thing. Our response to that woman or that person, that girl, should be a normalized reaction of being there and being supportive and taking care of them and whatever.
Yes.
But it should be on the other foot too. The shoe should be on the other foot too. You feel me? That's what it should be like, right? But it doesn't exist really. It's rare when you hear that. Unless the person that you're confiding in is seeing the actual abuse happen right in front of their face. Right. That's what I've seen, like at least what I've experienced. You know what I mean?
Right. When it comes to compassion, in our culture, there's a limit to it. They feel as if you can't be level-headed and show compassion on both sides of a conflict. You're either with us or you're against us.
Facts.
Right? So if I am to show compassion to person A in the relationship, the second I start to show compassion to person B, person A, I am now their enemy. So we have to pick a side immediately. I've seen situations with clients where there's a divorce and now the children have to pick a side.
That's just terrible.
Oh, it's
oh
ridiculous.
My God, that's terrible.
It's like, who are we going to stay with? And not only who are we going to stay with, who are we going to champion in our relationship moving forward?
Yeah.
Right? Because obviously when I'm with dad and dad's new girlfriend and mom comes up as a subject matter, how do I react because they're looking? And vice versa. When I'm with mom and mom's new boyfriend and dad comes up in the conversation, how do I react? They're experiencing this, and we experience this all the time as just individuals when it comes to sports. Like when Pujols left originally with St. Louis, people were picking sides. Me, I was like, the man brought championships here. It's like, go have fun in California. You brought a chip here. Now he's back. But if you were here in St. Louis during that time, people were losing their minds because they had to pick a side. And you don't have to pick a side.
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to, man. Damn. You know?
I didn't get it.
Yep. And then now everybody's happy again because he back.
Because he back.
You know what I mean? He back now. They're like, yes. But then he left his wife right after. That's a whole other conversation in itself. You heard about that, right?
Yes,
Pujols leaving his wife right after. Did she battle breast cancer or something?
We live in a crazy world.
It's a crazy world, but it's like, wait, you good? You good, honey? Great. I'm divorcing you. Thank you. Like, what?
But where do you win in that situation?
Homie.
Should he have left before when she was on the, it's like there's no winning.
At least wait another year or something. Right after she rings the bell, you're going, Dylan, yeah. We're getting divorced. Like what the hell?
There's no winning in that situation.
I know you can't win that, but damn, man. Damn. That's some savagery, okay? But we got to get into this next story because I'm going to be opening up the video chat lines here, which I'm going to put out right now, just so y'all know, okay? The video chat line is now pinned to the top. I got another story, but I just wanted to have it out here so you guys can, do what you need to do, pull the phone out, get everything ready, all that stuff. And of course, short and sweet, guys. Like I said, short and sweet. We don't have a whole lot of time, and I want to be able to get every single caller, get through as many callers as I can. So like I said, I'm going to say it one more time. Short and sweet. I love you. Okay? He thinks this is funny. Short and sweet. Okay. So the next story we got really, really quick. It has to do with Blac Chyna. Now, I know we were talking about this before we went live, and I thought this was just a very interesting one because this is another multi-million-dollar defamation lawsuit at the likes of $300 million. Excuse me. $300 million.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This is ridiculous.
Yes.
Okay. But there has been new developments in this particular case, or in this particular trial. Sorry. And this is, I thought, was very interesting. So I'm going to say this short and sweet, very, very quickly, because I got some questions for him about the monies. Okay, we got to be real about the monies. Okay, because what in the hell, bruh? $300 million. Okay, it's a whole lot of quiche.
Yeah.
All right. So Blac Chyna, real quick. Let me just blow my face up here real quick. Okay, so Blac Chyna, you see the title right next to my head, but Blac Chyna, all right, obviously is suing the Kardashians for $300 million. She has there's been accusations about her, or she believes that the Kardashians stopped Rob and Chyna from going into a second season, and basically that they blacklisted her from being able to do or create more content for E. That's the main broad stroke of it all. Rob Kardashian, they had quite an interesting volatile relationship as well. Isn't it interesting? All these toxic human beings we're talking about all of them, every single last one of them. These are all toxic relationships. But anyway, Rob Kardashian went out of his way because he's a piece of trash. In my personal opinion, you just don't do this to somebody, okay? Regardless of if they've broken your heart, they cheated on you, or anything like this. This is the mother of your damn child. I'll just say that really quick. Mother of your damn child. This woman should be an angel, but yet you put out explicit nude photos of her out to the general public for everyone to see. Now, they're in this trial. She's getting cross-examined. She's being interviewed. And out of nowhere, the Kardashians' lawyer, have the audacity to pull out these photos and show them in the trial. This obviously throws Blac Chyna off big time, whether you agree with this lawsuit or not.
Right.
Is this savory content? Is this a savory approach? I'll let you guys think about that in a second. So, because of that, they are going to, apparently the judge is going to let her redo her testimony because the Kardashians' lawyer unleashed a psychological attack on her. This is what she says. So, last week she was being cross-examined during her defamation trial against the Kardashian family, but her lawyer, Lynn Ciani, I think, stated that her client wants to redo her testimony because the famous Brood's attorney, Michael Rhodes, posted a deliberate and unethical psychological attack on the mother of two. I forgot she had two kids. I forgot that. So according to the Daily Mail, the request comes after Chyna was presented with the restraining order paperwork she filed against Rob Kardashian, her ex, in 2017 when he leaked naked photos of her online. Both parties agreed that the pictures would not be shown to the jury. And they weren't. But they were attached to papers she was shown, which caused Chyna to become quote unquote upset when she saw them, stated Ciani. So they have explained, or the attorney explained, that the incident then derailed Chyna from completing her testimony the way she intended. So if you don't remember who Rob and Chyna are, here they are in a photo when they were happy, I guess, or that one rare moment when they were together and happy.
Right.
But here it is, y'all. It looks like the the judge is going to say yes to letting her redo her testimony because the Kardashians' lawyers decided to pull out. Man, I mean, is this like, who does this? Decides to say, yes, I'm going to show her the photos that she already knows about them. She already seen herself naked. She already knows what she looks like naked. She already knows about these photos that were out here on the social medias that Rob Kardashian leaked. They obviously affected her tremendously to the point where she filed a restraining order against Rob Kardashian. She don't want all that stuff out there unless you're paying for it on OnlyFans. Let's keep it real. So there it is.
Right.
I don't blame the judge for saying, hey, okay, yeah, you can do it again. You know what I mean? But what are your thoughts on this so far?
Man, there's so many variables here. But honestly, I can't speak towards the strategy of an attorney, right? Was that the strategy of the attorney for the Kardashians to, get her mentally unstable while she was on the stand? I mean, if that was their strategy, apparently it was effective, but was it ethical? I'm not sure. I'm going to allow the judge to make that decision. And obviously he's saying it's time to do a do-over because he felt as if she was affected in a way where she needs to do it over again.
I just still can't believe that they say, we agree, we're not going to put out this stuff. Just out of common courtesy, I get it. It's $300 million. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous defamation lawsuit. Whether she's going to win this or not is something else. I really don't think she will. But at the same time, for them to do that just to play with her head, clearly they were doing that to mess with her head.
Right.
They were doing dirty rather than just being respectful and just getting the questions out there, because the questions are enough. The facts should be enough.
Yes.
Not playing dirty and lowballing her like that. That's just what I think. Regardless, regardless if I agree with this defamation lawsuit or not,
Right.
which I think, like I said, is ridiculous. You just take the high road and just be done. You feel me?
I understand that.
Yeah.
But when you hire an attorney, and I've worked with attorneys with clients all the time, you want them to be as aggressive as they legally can be. When you are, in a position where you feel as if you're fighting for your life, be it civil or criminal, you want that attorney to do everything within the scope of the law to vigorously advocate on your side. And to me, based on what I'm seeing here, that's what the attorneys was doing it. Was it, the highest ethics? Was it something that obviously this judge thought wasn't, above the bar? It doesn't seem as if, anyone's being disbarred because of it, but it does seem as if it was grounds enough to give Blac Chyna the redo, right?
Right.
She gets the redo. Okay, great. Clearly everything wasn't the way the judge wanted it to be, but I'm telling you, when you are in a situation where you need an attorney, you want that attorney to fight on your side as aggressively as they can within the lines. And if that's what they did, when you are the client, you're like, yeah, that's what I want done.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. That they're the dogs. They're they're there to do your dirty work,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And they're there to be your bulldogs and get Brody if they got to, right? And so I get that piece 100%. But if it goes into a mistrial, then all of this work is for nothing, in a way.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and that's one of the things that they're actually that they were trying to do. If she wasn't going to be able to retry or do her testimony again over, they were going to move for a mistrial because I get it.
Yeah.
They're there to do the dirty.
You
I
want
get
them to fight as hard and play that edge as close as possible.
Right.
That's what you want. You want them to go all the way to the edge. Now, if they slip over the edge, then that's where the hiccups come in. That's where the mistrials come in, and that's where there's negligence. But I'm telling you, when you're in that position and you need someone to get out there and grind and defend you or advocate for you, you don't want someone playing straight down the middle. You want someone who, they get that rebound and there's some elbows going around a little bit. That's
Charles Barkley. Gotcha. I got you. Real quick, Live and Learn just said, they say if you're famous, your life is put under a microscope. My God, I can't talk today. But dang, this is her naked. They definitely had something against her if they wanted to get her in court and then exposing that. Yes. I totally agree. Live and Learn. I think it's absolute trash. For sure. And then real quick, you should also have the lead attorney on for his court analysis on these cases. Yeah, I would love. I would love to have a lead attorney here.
Call him up,
man. If I had his number, I'd holler. I'd be like, "Yo, man, I'll fly you in. You can stay and all that stuff." Trust. I'm working on that right now. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to get these other mighty YouTubers in the house to come in here and chop it up with me and my fam. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But let's get into some conversations. Let's get into some videos. Some video calls. But really quick, $300 million.
Right.
Real quick, I didn't get to ask you that. $300 million. How does one like Blac Chyna come up with $300 million? Like $300 million is like, you know what I'm saying?
Listen.
She was making, I don't even know how much on one season of Robin Chyna.
Right.
So why on God's green earth does this woman think that she deserves almost a half a bill? Like, explain that to me.
There is a concept within accounting that we sometimes refer to as magical math. Okay. It's
magical math.
Magical math.
Okay.
What ends up happening is within a accounting department or whatever, you can go to someone and say, this is the result that I want. Find a way to get to this number. And with some magical math, you can get to that number. But just looking at it logically, I don't see how this actually comes and totals a financial damage to $300 million. Now, there's a concept of opportunity cost, right? There's a concept of, okay, because of this particular situation, I lost a deal, right? Here's what magical math goes into.
Right.
Now, she can say, because I lost out on this opportunity to do this show, I lost $1 million. Okay. Because I think that's kind of closer to the number. Right. That's probably closer. I probably lost $1 million, maybe $2 million. But with magical math, you can go down farther down the line. Well, with that $2 million that I lost, I was going to flip that and turn that 2 into 10, because there's something else that I would have done, because I didn't have the 2 million, which is actually feasible.
Right.
She can then extrapolate, and really it's the accountants in the back room trying to work up to that 300 million. They could say, well, because she lost out on the 2 million, if she would have had the 2 million, she would have been able to get in on Dogecoin early with the 2 million. You see where it was,
I mean,
you can just play magical math games all day long and find a pathway to 300 million based on saying,
right,
because you denied me the opportunity of the 2 million, I wasn't able to invest in AMC or GameStop, which I would have done, and then that would have got me 300 million. So yeah, you can get there, but you're stretching. Yeah, I know.
Come on, you're going, okay, I was going to get 1 million and then I was going to double it up to 300 mil. Like, just somebody help me. The math on this one ain't mathing, y'all.
It's not.
It's just not. It's just not working.
This is a classic shoot high, and hopefully we can settle somewhere lower. But yeah, the numbers don't make sense. The only way you can justify it is trying to say opportunity cost. She didn't have the million or the 2 million that she would have been able to do X with that would have got her this. But that's all looking through the rear view of saying, well, see how Dogecoin went up, see how GameStop went up, see how AMC went up. If she would have had that money, she probably would have invested it in one of those things, and she would have got the end result of 300 mil.
Does she really look like the type who's going to be investing in that kind of ish? Real talk. Come on, man.
That's why it's magical math. And you can lead to any number looking through the rearview mirror of what you could have done. But that's not how investments work.
She don't even have her own personal banking account, baby. Come on now. You know that's funny. That's funny. You know that tickles you. You're like, yes, this chick don't even have a personal banking account.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Not at all.
And
all right.
And I know there's people out there, big head, armchair financial advisors, who say, well, she probably just has all her money in business accounts, and that's why she doesn't have a personal account. Let me briefly explain to you why that also makes no sense.
Go on.
So to LLC Twitter out there, everyone who thinks all you need is an LLC and you'll be a millionaire in a month, let me explain to you how LLCs actually work. An LLC is what we refer to as a disregarded entity in the world of finance.
Oh.
They mean nothing. An LLC in finance means nothing. An LLC in the courtroom means everything. An LLC is for civil litigation on the state level, meaning if you were to get an LLC, you, the individual who owns it, and the LLC are two separate entities if you were to be sued. But in the eyes of the IRS, the LLC and the owner or owners of the LLC is the same exact thing. Okay? Now let's go one more step further.
Sure.
If all of her personal expenses are being paid out of a bank account in the name of the LLC, she basically just made the LLC protection null and void. Because what ends up happening, if you were to be sued and you say, well, the only money I have is in the LLC, you sued me personally, I don't have any personal money, what would ultimately happen is a attorney and a financial advisor will work together and they will comb through all of the LLC's bank statements. And if we start to see personal expenses coming out the LLC bank account, we can then go to the judge and say, Judge, even though on paper, this individual, Blac Chyna, and her LLC are separate on paper, in function, they're the same person. So even though we have a judgment on her as an individual, because she uses the bank account personally, even though it's the LLC, we believe we can attach the judgment against the LLC. 9 times out of 10, the judge would agree because the LLC and the person for civil litigation purposes should be separate. The second you mix and commingle funds, you just null and void the protection that you had with the LLC in the first place.
Wow. But then, how does one not have a personal banking account,
Yes.
but be able to have, like, how does she make every single check that she gets is just written out to her LLC and that's it? Like, I'm just trying to understand the math behind this thing, how that works.
I don't understand how that can happen. I mean, from my understanding, I believe she gets child support, doesn't she? I mean, she has two very high-profile baby daddies, right? I doubt that they're writing checks to the LLC. I would have to assume that they're writing checks to her as a individual. Now, when she says that she doesn't have a bank account, it makes me think, well, she maybe does not have a traditional bank account in what we think at like a Bank of America, a U.S. Bank or whatever, but maybe she has like a CashApp card, or she's able to do some sort of banking or financial transaction somehow.
That is weird.
Some way. So I would have to assume she has some way to do financial transactions out of her personal name. There's some way somehow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just too much. I'm getting a headache even thinking about it. And I someday somebody's gonna have to explain that to me. Actually, don't explain it to me. I don't really care. I'm just talking about this $300 million lawsuit, real talk, and that is just still wild as hell to me. But anyway, we got to go into speak on it. It's time to get these conversations going. I see somebody in here, so let's pull up Tyler Hackner. What's up, Tyler? How you doing, baby?
Hey.
How you doing, man?
Am I echoing? I feel.
No, I don't think so. Right. Hold on. I mean, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, is he echoing, guys? Oh, he's echoing.
Oh.
Let's try this. Maybe you're not echoing anymore.
Okay. Oh, all right, good. All right. Oh,
Maybe that worked. Guys, let me know. Hit that number 1 if he's not echoing anymore. Okay. Just let us know. But go ahead. What's on your mind? We're gonna keep pushing.
All right. So a lot of this went over my head, honestly.
Like what?
Just trying to explain myself.
Sure. Like which one? Which subject matter? We talked about a lot of stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Well, mainly the Blac Chyna thing. Okay. Everything he was just explaining a second ago.
Okay. So
people are saying I'm echoing.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what to do with it right now, guys. We're almost at the end of the show, so I'll try to fix it for the next show. Okay.
We'll just have to deal with that later.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So. I'm just trying to figure out how it all works.
Okay. Well, let me try to go over the point again. So, as far as how finances work, right? There is a misconception out there that if you simply get a LLC, an LLC is a filing that you do on the state level to create a business entity. Okay? You can create a business entity on the state level, and that business entity has a legal and liability separate from its ownership, right? So if there is a JT, the individual who owns Pocket Watcher LLC, if I was to be sued as an individual and I lose that lawsuit, they cannot then go after the assets that's in the LLC and vice versa, because for civil litigation purposes, the company and the ownership are two different things. Think of it even on the grander scheme, right? If you own shares of Apple, technically you are a owner of that company. Even though you're just a fractional owner, you are an owner of that company. If Apple is sued and it loses a lawsuit, you never come out of pocket and pay some of that lawsuit, because the ownership of the company and the company itself has separate legal liability. Okay. Now, in order to keep that separation, there has to also be a separation financially. You cannot funnel personal expenses in the LLC and still attempt to maintain in a court of law that the company and you are separate. And if Blac Chyna does not have a personal bank account and she's funneling everything through the LLC, like many people who online says, oh, well, she's actually doing the smart thing. You should never have anything in your personal name. Run everything through the LLC. Well, if you do that, what you're basically doing, you are nullifying the reason why you got the LLC in the first place. If you're funneling all your personal expenses through this company, when you go to court and you get sued, the
seems fairly irresponsible.
Right. The opposing attorney will simply say, well, you and the LLC are the same thing, so we can go after both of you at the same time.
Word. There you have it.
Yeah.
There you have it, guys. Well, Tyler, thank you so much for hopping on, man. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Well, my camera just died. So I can't hop over there. But why don't you tell everybody where they can find you and all that? Because we're going to start wrapping up this show.
All right, well, thank you for the opportunity. You can find me. The easiest way you can find me is go to pocketwatcher.net. Right? If you go to pocketwatcher.net, you'll be able to find links to everything within the sphere of pocket watching with JT. Number one source of content is always going to be YouTube, right? So you can go to Pocket Watching with JT on YouTube. What I do every week, I have like maybe 4 shows that I'm really ramping up to do a week. I do one on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. 3 of those shows every week is going to be a call-in talk show where basically I'm going to be talking about a subject within personal finances, and then I'm going to give my audience an opportunity to call in to the show phone number, and you can ask me a question about your particular financial situation, and I am a certified financial planner. I am going to give you the best smart money tips to get you closer to whatever your financial goals are.
Yes. So please, guys, back. Please do us a favor, okay? Do us that solid. Go over to Pocket Watcher with JT. Check this man out. This man is very informative. Obviously, he was just talking to us about all this stuff. You see what I'm saying? Like, you say to have the LLC, like the business account and personal account, but maybe funneling things from both things real quick?
Ultimately, what you should be doing, especially when you're a small company, most businesses are small businesses, right? Most businesses are small businesses.
Right.
So what you need to do, you need to have 2 separate accounts, one personal, one for the LLC. Now, obviously the funds in the LLC, it's yours, right? It's your money. You can do what you want with your money, but what you should not be doing, you should not be paying for personal expenses out the business account. All you have to do is take a few moments of discipline, and I do it all the time myself. I go on my banking app and I'll transfer money from my business account to my personal account, and then I swipe that card. That way I have a clear distinction between my personal expenses, my personal transactions, and my business transactions. I never want to be in a situation where an attorney can point at my business bank account and say, see, JT and Pocket Watcher LLC is the same thing. And because he said something silly on the internet and we're suing Pocket Watcher LLC, we're able to go after all his money on the personal side. I will never let that happen because the bank accounts are separate.
Gotcha. Okay, see, like I said, and this is just a snippet. I mean, he's been on for a minute now with me, but at the same time, this is just a snippet of what you can get from this man on his channel. So go over to his YouTube channel, Pocket Watching with JT, por favor. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Okay, like I said, man is great. Again, thank you so much for being on, my brother.
I appreciate the invite.
Thank you.
Yes,
of
sir.
course, this seat is always welcome until somebody else is sitting in it. Okay. So I appreciate you coming through, man, and chopping it up.
Yo, kick me out. Dave Ramsey be here next week, and I'm out here.
Yeah. Oh man, I'll be like, man, I'm sorry. We leveling up. I don't know what to tell you. We just leveling up here in my garage. So anyway, big thank you to JT for being on Pocket Watching with JT. Be sure to go check him out. Like I said, really great channel. I gotta get going. I appreciate all y'all for being on. I'll be on tomorrow at some point during the day. You'll know if you hit that notification bell and if you've already hit that subscribe button. So yes, do me a favor, hit that like button down below. Don't forget to do that. Send it past 200 likes for me real quick, because we're only 2 likes away from that.
Let's do it.
So that'd be really nice. And then of course, do not forget to hit that subscribe button. And of course, please, I'm bringing on other really, really great individuals like this guy here. Okay, real talk, to sit across from, to be a part of an open discussion and all that. So if you know any people that might be down to sit across from me and chop it up, talk about what's going on in the world and bring in their expertise on certain things, by all means, holla at your boy. Or if you just got some really funny people that just are funny and that just want to chop it up and have a great time and have a few laughs, they're always welcome right here on the Pascal Show or the Pascal Raw Show. Okay. But anyway, guys, it's time to get going. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. And I appreciate all y'all for being with me tonight. Have a great rest of your night. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys very soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.